Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Thursday evening. I want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. I got a word for you. Tap in. Guys, happy Thursday. Didn't get a recording in this morning. Pretty busy day. But I want to just jump right on in, and I want to talk to you guys about God is freeing you emotionally. God is freeing you emotionally. And I want to hit this from a few different angles. Do you realize that sometimes our flesh can have us saying one thing, but God has no part of that? For example, I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you're like, I will never, ever abandon this person, or I will never, ever leave this person, or I would never, like God says that I'm going to be with this thing or that person for all my life, and I'm never going to this, and that. God didn't tell you that. Or did he? Was it God or was it flesh? Was it flesh in the sense of your own loyalty factor? Right? You may feel like, well, I could never leave this thing, that person, this place, whatever, because this person may have had my back in a different season, or just whatever, but it's all your flesh, your own loyalty factor. But now you're starting to realize that this thing is coming to a head. It has been weighing you down emotionally throughout some time. But now you feel like it's coming to a head, and it's almost like it's easier to walk away from it now. In this season, some of us will have a supernatural grace to walk away from things as well as people that we could never do before. But you have to move when the grace is on you. Right? There's just this thing. There's this feeling in the spirit right now that is making it easier to leave people and to leave things, because you know that God has a bigger plan. You may not know exactly what that plan is. He may or may have not revealed it to you yet, but you know it's something. And you know that these people or that thing or that place can't go. You're feeling in your spirit that it's time to release it, but there's something that keeps you hanging on. Could that something be your own flesh? Because maybe you are fearful of the unknown, and you don't know what life will be like without that thing, without that person, without that job, or whatever. Right? Are you toggling back and forth because you're trying to figure out, is it spirit? Is it God? Is it spirit? Is it God? Is it flesh? Is it Holy Spirit? Who said that thing 10 years ago when I promised myself I would never ever leave it? Was that me? Was it God? So I realize in this season, God is freeing a lot of people emotionally. That's going to be in the sense of pastors who have committed their lives to very toxic church members, who have gossiped about them, who have kicked them when they were down, who these pastors has helped when no one even knew about it. And these are the same members who's throwing dirt on their name. That can be relationships, that can be marriages, unhealthy friendships, unhealthy assignments, right? Unhealthy family members, unhealthy towns and cities. Right? You feel this dark cloud, and you feel like God is telling you it's time to move because this thing is draining you. Right? You thought you heard God said move to Los Angeles, and now you're there, but it's heavy, it's toxic, there's no fruit. You're overwhelmed. You're emotionally drained. And now you're wondering, was that God? Or was that flesh? So if you're in a season where you feel like it's more easy now to release certain things, now it could be going on in the sense of what you feel in your spirit, or it could just be something that God have shown you, right? He may have shown, you could be a visionary or just whatever. He's shown you something, and he's told you that this thing, that person, this, that can't go, if he's requiring of that, there's a certain grace right now that if you just take the step to walk away, you'll realize now how easier it is versus you trying to walk away from it a year ago. Because a year ago, it wasn't time. It was time, but it wasn't time. You know, I always say you're not tired until your soul is tired. We can say all day long, we're tired, we're tired, we're tired, we're tired, right? You're not tired until your soul is tired. And when your soul is tired, you take action. This is why I always tell people, whatever you do your part. In any relationship, any situationship, in anything, do your part. Don't even worry about trying to retaliate, do tit for tat. They're doing this, so I'm going to do that. No. Keep it classy. Do your part. Regardless of who's saying, you got to be crazy, you look like a fool, do your part. Because when God says it's time to walk, it's time to walk. And as I always say, there's no better thing than be able to walk with a peace of mind. Right? It's not as when you walk away from something and it's that tug of war in your spirit of, well, they did this, but I did this too. Right? They were grimy. I was grimy too. They were petty. I was petty. Like, that tug of war is not even peace. But if you do your part without retaliation, without this, just do your part. Do what God is requiring you to do. Because a day will come when God says, it's time to walk. I'm not asking you, I'm demanding you. It's time to walk. And there's going to be a peace that surpasses all understanding. God is making room in this season. It is, for some of you, definitely for me, it is clear as day. There's a shift where he is freeing us emotionally. And some of us, not me, right here, but some people are like frantically holding on to, well, no, don't take this job. No, don't take this assignment. No, don't take this ministry. No. But he's freeing you because the one thing that you're holding on to is draining you. You know how these members have been draining you if you're a pastor. Definitely not me, right? You know how these assignments, I raised my hand for this one. You know how these assignments were draining you. Yes, I called you to it. But you don't know when to let go. But now I'm demanding you to let go. There's a grace. I'm giving you a grace that your emotions and your heart is not as tied up. And now when you walk away from it, or these things, or these people, or this such and such, you feel disconnected. This is why some of you are starting to feel disconnected from the very things that you love, from the very same things that you promised that you would never, ever, ever, ever abandon. And it's not even that you're abandoning it, right? It's that you found you're choosing you. It's your time. This is the season of the saints. It's your time. This is the season of the underdogs, the chosen ones, the misunderstood. Like, this is your time. So God is making way. He's making room. And we cannot choose how he decides to do it. If your little heart have to break in the process, your little heart have to break in the process. He has to free you emotionally, because what he has coming needs all of your attention and all of your time and all of your emotions. But this time, it will be a healthy emotion. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.